Today, we are going to be taking a look at the new best controller settings here in Battlefield 6 after the recent update. If you're trying to get better at the game, higher kill games, win more gunfights, you came to the right video. So if you guys are new and find this video help you out in any way, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and let's get into it. So now getting into our settings here, for the first thing that we're going to be taking a look at is our accessibility here, and we're going to go into our graphics and quality setting here, and then go into our color profiles, and these are some of the things that I would change, and this is personal preference at the end of the day. But if you have no idea what you want to change it to, these are some good ones that I would do. Now, first of all, we are going to put our color preset to custom so we can custom change our different colors here. And for the first one, that what I would change is the player color. This is going to be you on the mini map, you in the kill feed. So if you get a kill, your name's going to pop up as yellow, and if you're looking at the mini map and everything, your person on the mini map is going to be yellow. So I think personal preference, it just makes the HUD look a lot better, more clean. It makes the mini map a lot easier to read as well, so that's why I have it at yellow. I've always used yellow on my player color. Now for my friendly color, it's the same blue by default. I just made it more saturated, so it's a little bit easier to see. At the end of the day, I know everyone has a different color, so you can change it to whatever, but if you don't have an idea, just brighten up the blue on it. It makes it a lot easier to see your teammates. Squad color is the same green. Again, I just made it more saturated, so this is going to make it easier so I can see my squad and everything like that if I'm partied up or anybody that's in my squad or anything like that. So again, personal preference, but this is one that I would change, and that is your enemy color, the little diamond that's going to show up on the top of their head when you're in your gunfights. Now, I'm going to tell you, make it a bright red or change it to a brighter color, so any gunfight you get into, it's going to be easier to see that little diamond in the player and the enemy name. So again, it's personal preference on the color, but I would make it a brighter color, like a pink or like a bright red or something like that. For me, I do have it on bright red, but at the end of the day, I know everyone has their different color palettes they'd like to use, so use whatever, but I will say for the enemy color, that's very important that you make it a brighter color. Now, we are going to go into our HUD settings here, and what we're going to do here first is make sure that we do have our HUD showing. You want to be able to see everything that's going on, your mini map, just everything on your HUD is very important, so make sure to have it on. Everything up here needs to be on at default. Do not change anything here. Now, for the first thing that we're going to be changing here is our mini-map. We are going to put this on large. We want to be able to read our mini-map. If you can read the mini-map, you're going to dominate the game. Flanks, know where people are all the time and everything like that, you need to be able to read your mini-map. So make it as large as possible by putting it at large. Now, we're going to drop down here until we get to our crosshairs, and this is where it gets good. This is going to help with your centering. First of all, our color crosshair intensity is going to be at 75. Keep your opacity at 100. Now, the crosshair color I am going with here is going to be a green. I can see in bright areas, I can see in dark areas. It's green, you see it through everything. Make sure to have it on a green or a color that you can see through bright areas, dark areas. You need to be able to see your crosshairs at all times. Make sure to have your crosshair thickness on thick. This is going to make it easier on your crosshairs and make it easier to read everything. So make sure to have it on thick. That is going to be the main reason on how to get your centering better. I can't teach you, but I can show you some things to make your centering a lot easier to read and everything. This is what you need to copy down. Now, for my hit indicators, this is personal preference, but I do have my hit indicator intensity at 75, my hit color at yellow, and then I have my kill color at the brighter red. So it's going to be the same color as my enemy color, so I know when I get my kills. So that's what I change here. And also what we're going to be changing here is our hit indicator number size. I have this on large, so I know what numbers I'm hitting at. So if I know if someone's a 1-shot, a 2-shot, etc. I want to be able to read the numbers that I'm hitting my target, so I have it at large. Now, for my damage indicators, I have the infantry damage color at red and my vehicle damage color at like this beige cream looking color. I don't really care about that too much, but the main thing is the infantry damage color. Won't be able to be red, so make sure to have that on. And then honestly, I feel like too many people yap in game, so I just went ahead and turned off my game chat. So that is something I would definitely recommend that you change. Next here, we're going to go into our controller settings, and I do want to quickly mention this. We're only going to go over our infantry settings, which I'm going to be completely honest. Most of you are probably just getting in a vehicle just to hitch a ride real quick, but I'm not going to go over any vehicle settings or anything. This is just strictly infantry here. But we are going to go into our infantry control settings here, and the first thing that we're going to talk about is our aim sensitivity, which I have mine on 50. It's not too slow. It's not too fast. We're just kind of in the middle. I think it's a really good one to use. I've been using this since the beta. My aim has been been feeling really good. And if you've ever seen my gameplays on this channel, I mean, you've seen my aim has been really good also. But 50, I think is really good. And if you're new to my channel and you're constantly changing your settings, your sensitivity and everything, I'm telling you, man, do not do that. Keep it at 50. Don't change it. Get used to it. If it takes a day, if it takes a couple matches, you need to get used to this and never change it. That is one thing. If you're constantly changing your stuff, you're just not used to it. So that's why your aim might be not the best. So make sure you have it at 50. Field of view is going to be at 115. I don't recommend maxing out at 120. It doesn't matter if you're on PS5, a PS5 Pro, a PC, a high-end PC. There's still a chance of some delay. I don't like to risk that at all, so I have mine at 115. And I'm going to be honest here. Your eyeballs are not going to be able to tell the difference between 115 and 120 unless you have some like crazy bird vision or something. So I like to have mine at 115, and that's for any game. Call of Duty, Battlefield. I do not max out my FOV whatsoever. Now, for my vertical aim ratio and zoom ratio, I just kept this default 56 and 80. I'm not going to change anything there. Now, for a little trick that I want to tell you here, it is going to make your controller feel a lot more smooth. It could be a placebo effect, I don't know, but I feel like doing this little trick here, do dandy, my aim has felt a lot more smooth. Now, what you're going to do here first is turn off your uniform infantry aiming. And then we're going to go down here to our zoom settings here, and we're going to turn off our zoom transition sensitivity smoothing. Once we turn that off, we're going to go back up here to the top, back at our uniform infantry aiming, and we're going to go ahead and turn that back on. I don't know if this is a placebo effect or not, but I will say my aim has felt more smooth doing this little trick. I know people were doing it on PC. I tried it out, and my aim has felt a little bit more smooth. Now, for my zoom sensitivity coefficient, I have it at 0. This is not going to make your controller feel a little bit more hyper. It's not going to make it feel quicker or anything like that. It's just at 0. Do not turn this up. If you start turning it up, your sensitivity while zoomed is going to be a little bit quicker, and we do not want that. Now, for my infantry aim assist and the slowdown, I have these both at 80. Now, the only reason why I've dropped mine a little bit is just because of the aim assist. It feels pretty strong in this game, and with it being so strong, your aim might start getting a little clunky. So drop it down a little bit. It's going to make the aim assist not as strong, but it makes it more smooth. It's still strong. It's not as clunky. It's a lot more smooth. So we want our aim to be smooth and everything. So we're going to have this on 80. I'm telling you, this is a very important thing I would drop down. I'm telling you, make sure to change it. Now, for my infantry input curve, I have mine on Battlefield 4. I'm just used to this one. I think this works really well. Unless there's like, you know, a test, and if someone could put it in the comments or something, unless there is a test on the best aim input curve, I just have mine on Battlefield 4. Is it the best one? I think so, but if anybody has done any testing, let me know in the comments. Now, I do have my acceleration preset for my stick input on standard, and I have the acceleration down all the way at 0. It is going to make your controller just feel a lot more sensitive and everything, and that's what I want. It's going to definitely help, so I like to have mine at 0. Now, going into my movement here, there's not too many things I want to talk about. First of all, this really just depends. This setting here, it really just depends on your playstyle. If you're super aggressive, you're always moving around, you're trying to get as many kills as possible with infantry, I would do this here. This is your keybind for your sprinting. All you're going to do to press and set a keybind here is you're going to move up on your left analog, just like if you were just like normally walking or something. And what this is going to do here, it is going to allow you to start just automatically run. So you're going to be constantly running, you're going to cover more map, you're going to flank people a lot faster and everything, you're moving faster on the map, finding more people on the map, getting those higher kill games. Now, if you're someone that just kind of sits back, you know, you're playing slow, using a sniper, DMR or something like that, you don't have to change this. This is mainly just for the aggressive players. If you're moving fast and everything, I would recommend that you change this. Now, for my sliding, I do have it on circle, so if I'm running all the time, I can quickly slide pressing circle or B, whatever you're on. And I have my double tap crouch for sprint slide. I have this off. I don't like that. It just feels really clunky, so I turn that off. Now, for my zooms here, we have our infantry zoom aim sensitivity. I dropped this down to 80. Now, what this is going to do is as soon as you aim down sights, everything's going to slow down a little bit. It's going to make it easier on your aiming. It's going to make it easier on your tracking and everything like that. So if you're using a sniper, if you're using a DMR of some sort, and I mean, just in general, aiming, tracking, everything, it is going to make it a lot easier to do that. And also, I mean, I think this does. It is a placebo effect, but it definitely does make it feel like the aim assist is a lot stronger doing this. So I would do this. It does help out a lot with your aiming. Now for my custom zooms, I have my 1 times all the way down here to my 3 times at 80. Then I have my 3.5 times to my 4.5 times to 70, so it's a little bit slower. And then for my 5 times to 10 times, I have it at 100. You could drop this down. Everyone has a different, sensitivity when it comes to a sniper, a submachine gun, an AR, pistol, shotgun. It's all different at the end of the day, but I will say if you're trying to just like look around very quick and everything, I would leave your sensitivity at 100 for your sniper scopes. Now we're gonna go ahead and back out here, and we're gonna drop all the way down here into our controller tuning, and this is where a lot of important things here are also. Now first of all, we are gonna go ahead and turn off our controller vibration. Everything in this game causes a vibration. It'll make your controller start going crazy. You do not want that to happen because it will make you miss shots just because of how bad the vibrators are in the controllers and everything. So go ahead and turn this off. You don't want your controller spazzing and making you lose gunfights. The adaptive trigger for the fire and zoom, go ahead and turn this all the way down to 0. Now for my left stick, I have my center dead zone at 3, axle dead zone at 3.5, and then I have my max input threshold at 75. What this is going to do is going to make it extremely easy to start any movement whatsoever. If it's a little bit of a jog, a little bit of a run, anything dealing with movement, it's going to be more sensitive. Your left analog stick is going to be very sensitive, so it's easier to your movements and everything. So this is going to help out a lot, just making your movement and everything a lot easier to start. Now, for my right stick, I have it at 4.4, and I kept the max threshold at 100. All this is going to do is make your right stick a little bit more sensitive, so if you're snapping onto multiple targets or anything like that, your right stick is going to feel a lot more faster and just everything like that, and that's what you want. I will say for your aiming though, keep it at 100. Do not turn it down whatsoever. Your aim will not feel the same. Trust me on that. Now for my L2 and R2 buttons, we have our L2 dead zone at 0, and then we have the max threshold. We just kept it at 100. Same with our R2 dead zone. We have it at 0, and then the max threshold is going to be at 100. We're not going to change anything there. Now, we're going to back out here, and we're going to go into our graphics here next, and we are going to go ahead and just keep our performance preset on performance. We want our game to be as smooth as possible. The smoother the game is, the better that you're going to play, and the better that you're going to do in your games. The smoother, the better. My world brightness, I have it at 40. I feel like the game is a little bit too bright at times, so I did drop this down to 40. It's not going to make it any brighter. It's going to make it a little bit more dark, which is going to make the game look a lot more clean. Sharpness is going to be 75. I wouldn't go any higher on the sharpness, because if you make the game look too sharp, it's going to look too grainy and everything like that. We do not want that. We want it to look nice and sharp. I wouldn't go any higher than 75. Now, again, we have our FOV at 115. Do not max out at 120. We've already been through it. My weapon field of view, we're going to have this on wide. Wide is going to make your weapon look smaller, so if a weapon has a fast fire rate and if there's a ton of recoil, visual recoil, or muzzle flash, it's not going to be as bad because of the weapon looking smaller, so make sure to have it on wide. My weapon motion blur, world motion blur, and camera shaking is going to be all the way down to as low as possible. Camera shaking is going to be 50 because it's going to make the camera shaking not as bad. There still is going to be camera shaking, but it's not going to be too bad at 50, so drop it down to 50. That's very important, but mainly the world and weapon motion blur needs to be at 0 because we do not want our game looking blurry or nasty looking. Make sure to have it at 0. We're going to reduce the sprint camera bobbing. Make sure to have that on. The chromatic abrasion we're going to have off. The vignette we're going to have off, and then we're going to have film grain off. This is going to make the game look very clean, very nice on console and everything. Make sure to do that. And then we're going to go into our audio settings, and there's not too many things I want you to change just because, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone has different ears. I will say, just go ahead and turn the music volume all the way down. All you want to hear in your games is the gun shooting, explosions, operators calling out and everything. You don't need to hear music. It'll throw you off, the footsteps and everything. You want to be able to hear everything in the game. All you really need to hear in your games is footsteps, explosions, and your gun shooting. That's all you need to hear. Make sure you have on a hit indicator, so just so you know that you are hitting your targets. And for the configuration here, I do have my sound system at headphones. If you're not playing this game with headphones, I don't know what you're doing. A lot of people play on TV, I know this, but I will say you are going to play better with a headphone on, headset, earbuds, some sort of something in your ear. It will make you play better. And then I do have my audio mix on War Tapes Val. This is probably the most important thing that you need to change in your audio settings because it makes your gameplay sound so much better. Footsteps, everything. Everything sounds so much better with War Tapes Val. But these are the best settings here in Battlefield 6 after our reset update. Go ahead and copy them down. Let me know in the comments everything that you changed. If it's one thing, if it's everything, let me know. And also let me know what was the best game that you got with my settings. But guys, I hope these settings help you. If they did, let me know in the comments. Go crazy. Thank you guys for watching. You guys stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.